and welcome to another SH Figuarts review of the Star Wars Battle Droid Geonosis color version from Attack of the Clones. This thing is pretty cool, and I'll say this right now before the review. This figure feels almost like 90% the same as the Bandai model kit version. Now this figure did originally sell for roughly the same price as the model kit version, but the model kit version is the original episode 1 color that also comes with the single trooper aerial platform, the Stap hover bike, with the hover bike stand as well. But of course I didn't get this for the original price. This was like 140 Hong Kong dollars, which is less than half price. So I was like, yep, I'm gonna get one of those. Now I do have the model kit version. I've not filmed the review for that one yet. It's in paint process right now. I just haven't gone around to finish painting it yet. I also got the General Grievous one as well, which I've also not finished painting yet. I'll try to get them done as fast as I can. Anyway, with this battle droid, starting with the head right there, yeah, the molding is pretty excellent, and it just looks like the battle droid. Now, for the most part, Bandai tends to release figures without battle damage, without any sort of wear and tear to the figure. They tend to have the most neutral look to a figure. But with battle droids, I suppose, since if they did that, there's not going to be any detail on it at all, it's just going to be a single color, and would have been a little bit bland. So I'm actually okay with them having a little bit of silver showing up on the head right there. You can see a little like weathering and stuff, which honestly, if you don't care for weathering, you can easily just spray the model kit version and you'll be done. So the weathering here is definitely a welcome addition to this figure. The antennas on the side of his head are made out of softish plastic, so you don't have to worry about snapping it, although this did come out of the box a little bit warped, so dunk it in boiled water when it's still hot and hopefully it should straighten out again. This piece is replaceable, so you just take that, remove that, and you can have the short piece here and plug that back in for storage purposes. I won't call that an accessory because that's a basic function that you need, so that doesn't count towards the accessory count. The neck joint, then you see how thin and detailed the back of the head is. It's really excellent. Right down to the backpack, or where the battery is for the droids, that looks pretty good as well. And obviously it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up in the movie either, so that's totally fine. Moving on to the torso, the details also excellent, with the little bump you see on the chest there, and the weathering on the edges here, and of course all the joints are hidden really well because they're part of the design of the original robot from the movies. So I think it looks really great. I think if you were to scan this figure or use it as stop motion, it will look just as good as the movies. So you can just do that, since movies just use CGI anyway and look crap like hell. A little bit of plastic molding injection lining there. Don't like that too much, that kind of sucks. Silver lining on the leg joints are also pretty nice. Look how thin these joints are on the arms. They are excellent. And not going to articulation per se, but yep, since this is a battle droid, it does not come with any spare hands or different hands, and the hands themselves are actually articulated. So I think I'm okay with that, because again, it is a battle droid, so it can function that way. Fine with the legs here. There's yep, more silver detailing there. That's just really nice. Obviously the droid itself hasn't got any dirt detailing, but again, I'm totally okay with that. The tramp stamps at the bottom of the feet, which I'm also okay because it's hidden quite well. So far, I think this droid looks really good. Two pieces of accessories that comes with the battle droid is of course the blaster that they all have. The blaster of course is a greyish black plastic and has a little bit of silver painted on there. There's not really any sort of battle damage or weathering going on there, so the gun does follow the principle of just being as standard as it gets. There is one other piece of accessory which is kind of funny, kind of nice I suppose, but honestly I wouldn't miss it if it wasn't there. So you can grab onto this head, pull it out quite easily, which is great for quote-unquote lightsaber battle damage, and you get a 3PO head for that really unnecessary scene in the movie, which could have just been cut. If I was to do a fan edit of Attack of the Clones, I would cut out anything about C-3PO and getting him mixed up with the battle droid production. But whatever, he's here, and which the head itself is actually done really well. I mean, they obviously just remolded the C-3PO Figuarts and to give it a different paint job, but the transparent eyes look really good. And yeah, he does have articulation, rotating and stuff, so that's all there. And he has the correct weathering that you constantly see him in Attack of the Clones. He's, you know, he's a bit battered, worn out, he doesn't have a great paint job, just grayish and dirt. And you got the different color patches there on the helmet, which look excellent. That little detail peg there, that's really good as well. So technically a great piece of accessory, but yeah, I don't think any of us really enjoys that particular scene in the movie. On to articulation. Now the top of the head is actually on a ball peg, which means you can actually have full head rotation if you want to, and it can move up and down just a little bit. You're gonna see there's another hinge there that can really rotate his head down. And that's because these droids also have the proper function of being stored away, you know, when they first stand up from the factory, so that's good. You also have an extra piece on top of the head that can really move to get out of the way or move into the right position when being stored in storage mode, so that's great. Because you have the bottom neck joint there, so the overall joint can come down like this, but if you want to regularly, when you just move this down, you can actually unpeg this bit. Again, it functions as part of the storage mode that this droid has, so that's great. You got two shoulder pads here, which unfortunately does have a hinge. There's only one of the joints, I think the only joint that doesn't stay hidden. So now he's got little wings. But yeah, so he's got that. He's got full rotation here, which is actually this area here that's rotating, so it's, you know, quite secure. And you also got the hinge, and then you have a nice hinge joint rotation here. And then you have the arm joint, which goes about 45 degrees. And another piece of articulation there, which is awesome. The hand itself is on a swivel ball peg, which is great. Thumb is on a single ball peg, which is not so great, quite limited. But the hand itself is on a 1-2 like joint there, so that's quite nice. The torso itself also has some rotation because these two thin pegs there are actually not like glued onto anything. They're actually little hinges, so that's great. So you got these two hinges, so that's great. It also go down, go back quite a bit, so that's good. It's like, oh, I'm being hit, or force push. That's great. Moving down, of course, we have the leg, which has got the standard rotation joint, but it's actually also on a ball peg, so you can actually open his legs up and close a little bit, so that's awesome. No rotating joint for the legs though, unfortunately, but it does have a hinge there which can close really well. Part of the storage joint, because the feet can go sideways quite a bit, and backwards and forwards. So, there we go. So this puts him into the storage mode, so you gotta get the legs up. Close that. Let's see if I get this right. Let's get his head down. This piece keeps falling off, that's the point. Move this head flap up and then split the neck joint in two and then push this joint down so he's all the way in there. And let's see, so the arms, you rotate it and he's, you know, he's sort of just hugging onto his leg, so you need to rotate the hand back that way and get his thumb underneath the feet, hug his leg. Same with the other arm. Hug his feet, and yeah, there we go. Oh, and I almost forgot that you got a little peg there that you can just get out with your fingernail, plug it into the sort of the trigger area, and there you go. You can see that it doesn't need any help and can stand there quite well. So I guess kudos to the original droid designers. They managed to get a design that's quite well balanced, and even in normal standing mode he can stand quite well as well. Really kudos to the original design of the battle droid. Despite the battle droid's silliness and extra silliness in episode 2 and 3, the design of the droid itself is actually pretty good, and not only does it look decent, it also functions really well. So lucky for them, lucky for Bandai, that when they release the figure, they can also manage to get it standing quite well. Despite having a very thin frame, the overall figure being quite light and small feet, the figure can do many poses without the need of a stand. I think that's really excellent. And in terms of the figure itself, in terms of the plastic is pretty good. Yes, again, it's so skinny and thin, but and you do have to be a little bit more careful with this Figuarts than say regular sort of more human-shaped characters. But it doesn't feel like it's gonna break in your hand. It still feels quite durable, quite steady, and I love how not only have they managed to keep the look of the battle droid exactly 100% accurate, they've also managed to put all of the functionality from the movies, all the different movements into the figure. So if you enjoy the look and design of the battle droids, or maybe you have some of the prequel Jedi figures or toys out there, you definitely want to pick up some of these battle droids to complement them. They'll go well with your Black Series clone troopers or Jedi as well if you have some of those. And if you get it as cheap as I did, it really is a no-brainer. And if you can't do that, the model kit version is pretty much 90% the same as this one, and that one's still relatively cheap for what you get in the box, so you can get that one too. That's pretty a cool kit to build. Not too hard, although the battle droid does have really skinny bits, so you gotta again be a little bit careful. But yeah, I definitely recommend it if you like Star Wars, Clone Wars, or prequel stuff. If you enjoyed this review of the Star Wars battle droid, it's not exactly a new figure, but again, I did get it for super cheap discount, and thought I might as well, film it as well, because it is an excellent figure. Do you have any Black Series figures? I don't think Black Series ever released battle droids, or at least Hasbro has never released a battle droid at the 1/12 scale. They've done like smaller figures with like no joints, but let's not really compare those with this line here. So yeah, if you have Black Series, you definitely want enemies for that. So tell me what you think about this, or if you have the model kits, if you like that as well. And definitely check out my other Star Wars related videos on this channel. If you like this video, click the like button. If you don't like it, click the dislike button. And of course, you can always leave a comment below what you think, how you feel. And I assume everyone hates Jar Jar Binks here. And that's agreement. As always, you can support this channel by sharing this video with other people, watching my videos with adblock turned off, or heading over to Patreon and supporting the channel that way. As always, take care and have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. May the Force be with you.